Good morning. Welcome to First Unitarian Church of Orlando. I'm Sarah Gray, serving our worship team here at 1U. With me in today's service are our worship leader, Erin Powers, our director of music, Aubrey Connelly-Candelario, with accompanist Danny Monzon-Villegas, drummer Jacob Hike, and members of the Chalice Choir, our chalice lighter, Lily, a testimonial from Kat Rigby, board member Debbie Reinhardt, and board member Sandy Pollock. And let's not forget our teams of wonderful people in the background working diligently to ensure we come together this morning. So thank you. We greet you this morning, old friends and new ones, as we explore our Unitarian Universalist faith, which draws us into a community of justice seekers with a commitment to lifelong spiritual growth and compassionate service to the community. Whether today is your first or your 1000th Sunday in our midst, you are welcome here. Whoever you are, whoever you love, you are welcome here. In this community, your whole self is welcome. We welcome your race, national origin, immigration status, gender identity, sexual orientation, age, physical or mental abilities, economic status, or religious background. We welcome you. We have a couple of special announcements for you today. First up, Fluffy regrets that the cybersecurity presentation for today will be rescheduled due to the chaotic events of life. The session for April 7th is still planned, and a second session will be scheduled soon. Quick safety note, we want to let you know that worship service at a couple of our neighboring churches have been interrupted by disruptors. The 1U safety team is well aware of this and has a plan in place should this happen in our sanctuary, so thank you. 1U Town Hall meeting. Reverend Margulie invites you to our next Town Hall meeting on Sunday, April 13th at 12 p.m. in Gore Hall to further discussion on current events and what this moment asks of us as a people of faith with a call to justice work. In a similar vein, remember to check out our 1U Justice Corner page on our website for upcoming social justice events and other information. You can find a link to the page on the homepage of our website or in the weekly update. The Endowment Board invites you to the rescheduled Start Your Legacy workshop after church on April 13th from 12 to 2 in the Assembly Room. Join us for an informative and engaging seminar on the basics and importance of will and estate planning designed to help you understand how to protect your assets, care for your loved ones, and leave a lasting legacy. We will have a special focus on those who are setting up their wills for the first time, and childcare will be provided. You are welcome to sign up using the QR code on the screen, but this link will also be provided next week in our weekly newsletter. And now I believe we have a generosity team update or campaign update from Sandy.
Thank you, Sarah. Good morning, everybody. Well, our pledge campaign is coming to a close tomorrow, and let me tell you, we have done a fantastic job. As of Friday, we had received 111 pledge cards for a total of $389,926. And this is important to note. 55% of us have increased our pledge. 30% increased by 10% or more, which Cindy and I did this year, and 20% increased their pledge by 20% or more. So we should be proud of ourselves. We can be proud of ourselves. So when we factor in those that haven't pledged, just continuing with their current amounts, that brings us to a projected total of $471,587, which is really incredible and just $3,413 shy of our goal of $475,000. So, yay us. So let me throw this out, okay? About 100 of you have not increased your pledge this year. And I understand that may be right for your family this year, and you have to honor that. But if everyone who didn't increase this year just raised their pledge by $35, $3 a month, we'd exceed our $475,000 goal. So this is going to be the last time I'm up here for the generosity campaign this year. I'll be up here for other things. Do me a favor, make me look good, and help us get to our goal. Just kidding. Well, but not about the increase. If you're able, you just go on, you either call Amy, you fill out a new pledge card online, you complete a new physical pledge card. She lets you update. It's fabulous. But I want to thank all of you for all you do to make this place a wonderful, beloved community. Thank you.
For more information about our congregation and announcements, please go to orlandouu.org or email info@orlandouu.org. Children will go to their activities when we sing them out after Time for All Ages, and the nursery is open until noon. And also from RE and Choir, a reminder that there is a children's choir rehearsal this afternoon at 12 noon in the studio. It would be appreciated if the parents of our littlest singers stay around to help wrangle them. All right, all other announcements are on slides before and after the service and have links in the weekly update or on our website. If you would like to follow along to the service, please use the QR code shown in the monitor and on the first few slides. Thank you again for being here in person and online today. Lily. Today's chalice lighter is Lily. Please join me in saying these words as we light the chalice. In the light of truth, and in the warmth of love, we gather to seek, to sustain, and to share. Please rise and body your spirit and join me in singing our opening hymn, 131, Love Will Guide Us. The words will be projected on the screen. Erin. My pronouns are they, them, and I am so excited to be here with y'all this morning. I'm going to call us to worship with these words by Pat Uribe Lichi. We gather. We bring our sorrows, our disappointments, our failures. We gather for healing, for laughter, and to rejoice. We gather to find new ways of loving, new ways of thinking, new ways of being. We gather. Yes, we always gather, for it is in gathering that we find our hope. So come, beloveds, let us worship together. And now, let us take a moment to greet one another.
sort of excited. Some of the kids decided to come down for Time for All Ages without being asked. I think this is fun. Yo, kids, the carpet's this way. So I'm inviting any children or you young at heart who would like to join us down on the carpet to help me tell the Time for All Ages this morning. For anyone in the room who does not know me, I am Judith Stein-Farrall. I'm the director, long title here, Director of Lifespan Religious Enrichment here at First Unitarian Church. Sorry? It's not the official title, though. No. All righty. I am so thrilled y'all are here with me this morning. You're going to help. So this morning, I'm telling a story that is inspired by an ancient poem, The Conference of the Birds, by the Persian Sufi Muslim writer. I forgot to ask you how to pronounce this word name. I believe it's Fariduddin Attar. Fariduddin Attar. All right, are we all ready? Yes. Do you have a question? Okay, cool. So once upon a time, all the birds of the community got together and decided they needed a leader. And they thought would make their community stronger, right? Right. So representatives of the bird species, all the bird species, gathered together like we did on this carpet today to discuss finding a leader. A good leader will tell us the right things to do, said the robin. Sorry. Yes, said the robin. All right. Jaden, will you hold that? A good leader must be very wise. Addie, you hold that. A good leader will make each of us feel important, know that we are important, whether we are big or small. How big is a sparrow? Tiny. How big is an owl? Very big. Yep, there we go. A good leader will understand that I need a caring person and someone who's like a friend in leadership, said the dove. A good leader goes, yes. Well, a good leader will help us share and get along better, said the jay. There you go. All right, next one. Yep. Sorry, I'm going to go over there, okay? Okay. And a good leader will make us all feel safe. But don't worry, there are parts for things for you to do anyway, said the hawk. There we go. All right. I know where to find just what you need, said the hoopoe. This is a hoopoe. But you need the simorg. But the simorg is very, very far away, and we'll have to fly a long distance to go find them. Did I hear you laugh at that? But they all said, we can do it. We can do it. And they voted to go find the simorg. Everyone says, okay, let's go find the simorg. All right. So the hoopoe took off, and all the birds followed. Come on, everybody. We're going to walk in a circle. Come on. Woo. Come on. We're going to go for. And they flew all night. And they flew in the sunshine. And they flew in the night. And the days passed, and some of the birds got really, really tired. And some of them decided it was too hard, and they stopped. And some of the birds, helped. Some of the birds got really tired, and the bigger birds helped the weaker birds. And some of the birds with all the great eyesight helped find food so they could eat. And after several days, going through valleys filled with fiery mountains. The birds got to where they needed to go, and the hoopoe goes, "We are here! We are here!" And they all came around and gathered around this lake. And come over here, said the hoopoe, and see this lake. Do you want to come see the lake? Come on. No jumping in the lake. And the birds stood beside the hoopoe, and looked in. And they realized they were on the edge of this lake, and they looked in, and they saw, what do you see when you look into a lake? Yeah, go ahead. You see yourself. What else? Yep. You see yep. You see frog patties, and you see yourselves, and you see your own reflection. There you go. They realized and they understood that the simorg was not yet another bird. The simorg was all of them. And all of them were the simorg. They remembered that each of them had something good and strong and special inside of them. Hey guys, hey folks. Good and strong and special. Each of you have something good and strong inside of you. And each bird has gifts to bring to the community. They were all that they needed to keep the community strong. And they knew now, together, they could do anything. Just like y'all. Y'all can do, together, you all can do anything. One more time. Together, you all can do anything. All right. Return your birds up to this chair. And now we will ask the grown-ups to form a loving arch and sing us out to religious enrichment.
My name is Kat Rigby. My husband, Paul, and I have been members of First Unitarian Church of Orlando for 20 years. Back then, we were 30-year-old parents with a little baby girl, and we wanted our daughter to grow up with a church home. We did a very Gen X thing and took a belief-o-matic quiz online and discovered, hey, we're both UU. So we came to visit and found this beloved community. Basically, Julia has grown up here. So let's go ahead and watch her grow up on Fast Forward. As a toddler, her first friends were at the Alliance every Tuesday, and her first job was to line up all the donated shoes in a line on the floor. One of her first big events was the Alliance Christmas tea. She started learning about UU principles in her pre-K class, things like each person is important, be kind in all you do. The elementary school years brought RE holiday parties like Halloween and Easter egg hunts, learning about UU history and our Judeo-Christian roots. She also started taking age-appropriate sex education in the Our Whole Lives class. Her friendships extended beyond her classmates to pew buddies of all ages. The middle and high school years brought youth group events, learning about world religions, field trips to other houses of worship, packing food at the food bank, learning about the bigger world. She spoke in worship here and sent dance video performances for worship at General Assembly. She completed her bridging ceremony and graduated from both high school and the children's RE program. To her delight, the red baby sling that I made her continues to pop up periodically at the Alliance Thrift Shop, and this lets us know that other church babies continue to ride around in it, and they also continue to grow up here in this community. Today, Julia is a nursing major at college. While pursuing her medical degree keeps her busy, she still pops in periodically here and there when she can. Her favorite things still involve the garden, donating things to the Alliance, and supporting RE activities. While we support this church and all its ministries, Unitarian Universalist religious education in particular is important to us. This is where we consistently give of our time, talent, or treasure. A UU education encourages curiosity and a questioning attitude. It encourages the exploration of different religious traditions, philosophies, and ethical systems. It teaches an openness to inquiry and critical thinking that helps individuals make informed decisions about their beliefs and values. And we teach this whether our kids grow up to become Unitarian Universalists or not. We hope that they might choose to become UU, but we expect them to choose for themselves. We hope we have given them good character and strong foundations that will serve them in their journey. We hope that our children will become adults who are thoughtful, informed, and compassionate members of society. And we so need that. We do. So, our daughter was encouraged to explore and deepen her spiritual understanding here. We pledge because we want that to continue for the kids who come after her. Thank you.
Good morning. I'm Debbie Reinhardt, member of the Board of Trustees. We invite you now into the practice of generosity. It's one of our spiritual values which sustains the life and ministries of the church community. Let us be grateful for the opportunity to give, for it is a privilege to be able to do so. And let us be grateful for our needs, for they give us the opportunity to practice receiving. Our Share the Plate recipient for the 5th Sunday for the month of March is Black Lives Unitarian Universalists. The offering will now be collected. Note that you can also give online using the link. let us joyfully receive what is offered here today in the spirit of gratitude and fellowship.
This is the time we set aside for deep sharing of our hearts and for prayer and meditation. If you have a sorrow that you need witnessed or help with, or have a joy that you wish to share, please contribute to our collective sharing of joys and sorrows to be read each Sunday during worship. You can send an email to joysandsorrows@orlandouu.org during the week. If you are attending in person, you can also fill out a card at the registration table and hand it to an usher before the start of the service. And after the meditation, we will call you forward to participate in our candle lighting ritual. Bring your joys and sorrows as we come together. Come as you are. Your whole self is welcome in this sacred space we are creating together. Some joys and sorrows from 1U this week to hold in our hearts. From Tess Junker, this week I share both a sorrow and a joy. After many years of infertility and a previous miscarriage, I recently became pregnant again, but sadly the pregnancy was not viable. I'm grieving the hope that was briefly returned and the loss that followed. I share this not only for myself, but in solidarity with others who have experienced reproductive loss in silence. May we hold each other in compassion. Tess also shares a joy. This Sunday marks exactly 1 year since I began attending 1U. I am deeply grateful to be part of such a loving and supportive congregation. This community has carried me through some incredibly hard times, and it is a joy to be held in this circle of care. Another card of sorrow for Andy Harrell, who is in the hospital with vertigo. From the Allen family, Jennifer Allen is heading home today after a successful operation this week. Please send prayers and energy for a smooth and speedy recovery. And it's with a heavy heart I share this news. Please, from Joy and Joan Irwin, please send loving thoughts to Marty Haney after the death last night of her beloved husband, Pete Vogt. If Pete were here, he'd be the first to tell us a joke to make us feel better, says Joan Irwin, a good friend. Please keep the family in your thoughts. From the larger community, we hold our communities and our country with care and the world with our compassion by acting for justice in all of the small and large ways that will move the arc of the universe towards justice. And please let us remember that the arc is long. And for all the joys and sorrows of this community shared today and for those held close to our hearts, let's pray, let's celebrate and send each other healing energy.
And now I invite us into a time of meditation. This meditation is by the Reverend Joan Javier Duval. And typically I might invite you to close your eyes, but I do have a video with this meditation, so be comfortable, but leave your eyes open. Holy mystery, silent presence, uncertain bearer of the weight of it all. In these quiet moments, we listen. We listen for the maybe still breathing, perhaps still whispering, faintest sign of the universal good. We listen between the cacophony of distractions, pulling us towards untruth and falsehood. We listen amidst the shrill cries of desperation, of we've had enough, of when will they stop killing my people, of how much more will the waters rise, of when will it be safe to return to my home, of how much longer can I hang on. We listen and we wait. Through the tumult of these days, we seek assurance. We seek the fulfillment of a promise made to ourselves, a promise made to those we have been stretched to call neighbor, a promise written and enshrined and yet unfulfilled. Help us, abiding mystery, to hang on, to hold on when all is in question, when all is in doubt. Help us to stay firm to our own commitments and our own promises. Lead us back into connection, back into the bonds of humanity that help us to know each other as beloved. May we continue listening. May we keep watch. May we beckon love and justice and mercy with our own whispers, with our shouts, with our cries, until all know themselves as part of the circle of love. Amen. And now we invite you to participate in our candle lighting ritual. If you are willing and able, we encourage you to focus your energy on our call to social justice work and how our generosity enables it.
somewhere. I'm gonna keep on till I find it. There is more love somewhere.
So we knew it was going to be bad. We knew it was going to be chaotic. But few of us were prepared for exactly how chaotic and how devastating the actions of this administration have been so far. And this has understandably put a lot of us into a bit of a tailspin. And of course, that is the intended outcome. We know this. And still, it is completely understanding that these dizzying weeks and months have left us feeling completely ungrounded and unsure of our way forward. We know we must resist the hate, the division, the hopelessness. And we're ready for action. But how, where, who, what? How do we know which way to move in the midst of unbridled chaos? How will we resist the overreaches of power? How will we protect the vulnerable? How will we keep working for justice and equity for all? And how will we center love through it all? I think we first start by breathing. Will y'all join me for a few grounding breaths? So how? How do we do this? How do we move forward? How do we move with love through the chaos? I propose that we consider starlings as an example, and more specific, the murmurations that we saw in our meditation that they create each and every evening. And now, while other birds, as we saw in our story, often flock together for similar reasons, a murmuration is a term specific to starlings. It's what we call their evening displays of swooping, diving, flowing flight. And the term murmuration is inspired by the murmuring sounds from the wing beats and soft chattering of thousands and thousands of starlings flying together. And scientists can't say for sure how starlings accomplish these mesmerizing acrobatic displays. Once upon a time, they thought it might be through animal telepathy. However, through observation and study, scientists' current understanding is that starlings can perform their nightly murmurations because they place their trust in their community. They know where to go next because they focus on these 7 or so birds that are closest to them at any given time. They rely on those nearest to them to help guide them and connect them to the rest of the flock. And they have a unified mission, and they trust that each bird is acting on that mission and vision. Trust is huge in times such as these. Trust helps us move forward with love. There is a reason that one of the first ways opposition groups attack other groups is by dismantling trust, because trust can make or break a community. And when trust in our government and social safety nets are in short supply, We need trust in each other and in our communities even more. We need the interconnected bonds of relationship that hold us together. And when we work to build and deepen trust in our communities, we can be more fluid and calm in our responses to the chaos of these times. And in the undulating movements of starlings, we can see how trust in a community can create massive waves of change. As a single bird tips to one side, the group quickly follows. Hundreds and hundreds of small movements rooted in trust. Interconnected bonds holding the community of starlings together. And this happens over and over as the starlings perform their nightly acrobatics. Starlings show us how trust changes how we move in the world, how we move in our communities. And when our communities are rooted in trust, we can create massive waves of change by doing what we can, where we are, with our people. And every time we make a move in a positive direction, we help move our community forward. We are not powerless, and the actions that we take, however small, affect our world, both near and far. And so often, we want to make big changes right now, especially when we're faced with big problems. And yet, as many of us know, trying to do this alone is next to impossible. And we also know that together we can do amazing things. And when starlings move in murmuration, they do amazing things. They become something greater than the sum of their parts. They are not just a flock of birds careening through the sky. There is purpose and intention to their evening aerial gathering. They are signaling to other starlings that that is where they are gathering for the evening. They are signaling that they have found a safe place to roost for the night. They are sharing information with each other about where to find food and how to avoid danger. And I can't help but think that they are also having fun, using up the last bits of energy before they settle down for the evening and warming their bodies so that they can share that warmth together through the chilly night. Together, through murmuration, starlings are doing the work of community. And in times of distress, we instinctively seek out community. And since the election, there's been an increase in attendance in many progressive churches, including our own UU congregations. And like starlings seeking their flocks in the evening, our reputation as welcoming and safer spaces has helped those seeking spiritual support, a progressive religious community, find us. However, our reputation must be tended to and cared for. We must sustain our reputations. We must actively and continually send out beacons of wide welcome, just as the starlings perform their murmurations every evening. And we must actively and continually make ourselves known in our community. Our faith cannot live in our buildings alone. And this can be scary, no doubt. And yet, our faith calls us to do the hard things in the name of love. Our faith pulls us towards brave welcome in stormy skies. Because even in the most politically challenging places and times, there are others seeking communities like this one. There are others seeking birds of a feather to fly with. Birds of a feather that they can be in trusting community with. And our Unitarian Universalist flock always has room for more. Starlings do their murmurations nightly, and they last for about 20 to 45 minutes. And as more starlings join, the murmuration grows larger and larger and louder and louder. Their thriving and surviving relies on a commitment to making sure that the starlings of that area know where the flock is roosting for the evening. Safety in numbers is important when you're a small bird. Making our mission visible and known in our community is one of the ways that we live our faith. And each evening, as the starlings swoop, glide, and dive through the sky, they are also moving throughout the flock. There is no fixed position or hierarchy within a murmuration. There are no outer margins or centered privileged places. Every member of the flock moves fluidly and freely through every part. The open invitation to join and be fully involved and embraced is vital to starling flocks. And as a people striving to abolish oppressions while living within an impressive culture, it is our call and our duty to bring the margins to the center. Our congregations can be places where we reject oppressive norms and live our values in our practices and in our welcome. It is one of the things that draws people to us. And the framework of your flock is important when we're considering the work of building and sustaining community. And as anyone who has worked in leadership in any capacity can tell you, it can become an all-consuming mission. Even a labor of love can be too much when only a select few are involved. And so we lead with love. We make it easy and accessible for people to be involved in our community. Seeking wisdom from different styles of organizational leadership and structure can help us discern how well our current structures are serving us and our goals. Starlings offer an example of truly decentralized leadership. Each bird has the opportunity to influence the whole, and each bird has a responsibility to pay close attention to the birds closest to it. And in this system, power and responsibility are equally shared, and neither is hoarded nor dumped on any one member of the flock. And while the dynamics of a starling flock are very different from a UU congregation, this leadership model can inspire us to ask important questions. Because we live in a culture that purposefully hoards power upward and distributes responsibility downward. And this intentionally oppressive structure shows up in all sorts of places, even in our congregations. It's rarely intentional, but it's the water we're swimming in or the air we're flying in. But one thing that is so awesome about our UU faith is that it encourages us to reject tools of oppression and bravely forge new ways of moving forward. There is no one right way to do so, but the starlings can offer us a bit of inspiration. And it is true that in trying out new ways of organizing ourselves and our congregations, it can be a lot of work. But it is in that work that we build the world we dream about. It is in that often mundane and sometimes tedious work that we strengthen our bonds to each other and create a safe haven that is ready and willing to welcome in others seeking the same. In these times, we need safe and trustworthy community more than ever. And while none of us would have chosen the challenges we have facing us in this coming year, we also have the opportunity and the responsibility to confront these challenges with intentionality, care, and concern for each other, and with love at the center. Our Unitarian Universalist faith offers spiritual guidance for resisting oppression and for forging a path forward that can sustain and uplift us. These times require us to put our faith into action in even more ways than we have in the past. We have a wealth of wisdom to carry us through, including the wisdom of starlings and their nightly murmurations, beckoning us to become even safer and more inclusive in our welcome, and inspiring us to create a way forward that carries our spirits and our bodies through the challenges ahead. May we soar, may we thrive, and may we find joy in doing so. And now at this time, may we please rise in body or spirit and join us in singing hymn number 1018, Come and Go With Me. Rebecca Savage, we have come to the end of our service, but not our calling in the world. We close our time together with the humble reminder that justice and equity are our spiritual practices to embrace. Each day, every day, we are blessed to be the embodiment of what is possible. When justice and equity ground us in all that we do, may we go forth with the light and warmth of our chalice in our hearts until we are together again. And now, beloveds, worship is ended and the service truly begins. With our call to action, in these times, may we move like starlings in murmuration. Let us place our trust in each other. Let us be brave in our welcome. And let us build beloved community that nurtures and protects, and let us soar. And we have one more call to action.
Hello. This coming Saturday, we will have another opportunity to resist the harmful actions of this administration together. And I just want to say, as an example, these two didn't know they were going to participate until I tapped them on the shoulder. So consider yourself tapped on the shoulder. Please come with me. Come and go with me. It is Saturday, this Saturday at 2 o'clock at City Hall. We will be gathering together to stand in resistance against what is happening to our country. If you want to join us here at the church beforehand, I will have a sign-up sheet at the justice table. The justice table doesn't know that yet, but there will be one. Martha, you know now. I'll be there to help. We're going to sign people up for carpooling. If you have never been to a protest, please raise your hand. Please raise your hand. It can be frightening to go alone. You're not going to be alone. Come and go with me. Thank you.
Please say these words with me as we extinguish our flame. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again.
Yes. Yes. So, okay.